Excuse me, Benzo. Hi! Hello, good day, salutations and greetings. I'm Marge, I'm Hilka, empath. Just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Today's a go within day. I took a lot of extra care for myself and Loretta too, my mom. I was thinking about that today. I was like, before 4 years ago in Nebraska, we were always just roommates. We lived together, just always made sure she was warm in the winter and cool in the summer. She couldn't afford to live on her limited income, less like $800 a month, and her house payment was like $7, so not a lot for food, stuff like that. We always grew up like that, living on the basics. We didn't need all the extra frills and stuff, and it made us really appreciate the little things. Our stocking stuffers when we were young were freaking receipts for the cable and the electricity, stuff like that. She'd always make us go in and pay rent, give them the money and get a receipt, look at them in the eye, say thank you, all that stuff. Tucker's back there chewing on his nail. I got nail biting dogs, and Artie's a thumb sucker. I got pictures of him sucking on his thumb. Anyway, everybody's all in their emotions and feelings. Everybody. It's just this it's like this soup of just percolation is how I feel this summer. This it's like a nice hot summer soup boiling on the stove, and it's about to get really hot. And if people aren't paying attention to it, it could boil over if they're not doing their daily disciplines and practices and stuff like that. I did make a few notes today. Mom and I woke up this morning and I knew the energies were going to be kind of hard for our placements, so I was like, hey Mom. And yesterday when she starts saying things like, you don't want me around, every now and again, like a couple times a year, she'll say that. And then I'm like, because we spend a lot of time together. But I also understand that she likes her own private time. She's a very prideful, private woman, and she just likes her time. And she has her little dog, and they're okay, but sometimes she feels more social, and I know that when I'm feeling more social, she might too. So when we got up today, I made some pancakes and put some raspberry jam on top, and it was nice. And she was in a good mood because she's been kind of sour the last couple days. And I was like, hey Mom, let's have a movie day. Let's have a movie morning, a family movie morning. And so we watched The Fifth Element this morning. I have it on DVD, and so I revisited that, and I love that movie. Love is the fifth element. Highest vibration frequency of love is love. That is the fifth element. People are coming into it, and a lot of times you hit vibrations that high, it freaks people out. They don't like it. Me included sometimes. Not all surprises are good, man, especially when you're a trauma kid like me. Ooh, I've managed to summon all of my fragmented parts that were disheveled. I've called them all back, and I am whole, I assure you. Well, ain't nothing 100%, but I'm mostly whole. I'm very well balanced, more than most, and my astrology says so. I ain't just being a cocky. Let's see. So are people keeping up on the national pervertedy that's coming out? Instead of national security, it's all national pervertedy. We've been paying for their sex parties all over the world. It's all coming out. It's all coming out. All these presidents to say, not on my watch, but look at all the presidents that let Epstein fall through the cracks. Now we know why. He all had dirt on all of them. It's all a bros club. So, people are broadening their spectrums. They always had an idea of how their life was, and I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna have this idea, this family. I'm gonna go to this job. I'm gonna talk this way. I'm gonna have these extracurricular activities. I'm gonna like this music. I'm gonna like sports. I'm gonna eat this food, They make these conscious decisions every day to live certain ways, and people every moment are waking up. I don't want to live that way anymore. Turnover is huge right now. The whole world is turning over. People are like opening up to their new ways of thinking, and it's beautiful. A lot of people are scared. Don't focus so much on them. Focus on the people who are really coming into themselves, and you know, and it's like, you know, and when because I always get pictures of the fifth element in my head about like what, you know, how things are, you know, like how they could be if we don't get our act right, you know, the piles of garbage and stuff like that, you know, and the multipass and the tears, you know, down into the fog and all that stuff, you know. If we're not careful, people want too much stuff. That's where we're headed. I think people want less stuff. I think people are going more within. They're finding the peace and quiet within themselves, so they don't need so much out there, which is good news, but it's not good news for all the people that like to freaking, you know, the cannibals and the perverts and stuff like that. They're all like, oh no! The nasty, the baby doers and stuff like that. The baby doers. Ugh. That's why freaking old boy moved to freaking Greece, is because, oh, pedophilia, it's just, you know, it's like alcohol, it's a condition, or it's a disease, it's they can't help it, so they're gonna want to try it. No, wait till they start trying to add P to the LGBTQ alphabet soup. See, that's why I never align myself with any organization, any sect, denomination, anything like that. I'm not gonna say, yeah, I'm a part of that all the way, I'm 100%, I'm all for that, because the people that are in there, you don't know what they're all about. And there's shadow shit in every entity, every one. It's how big it's allowed to get. That's the trick. That's what people are having to see, like, how did this stuff get so big, you know? Oh, because they're all in on it. Because they're all creepy pervs, you know. That cracks me up when I hear, my dad was a good cop. Oh, yeah? Well, he was surrounded by bad cops, and what, he just kept his mouth closed? Because why, you don't rat on bad cops? What kind of fucking horseshit is that? That's like some TV bullshit. You know? Cops are the biggest proponent for freaking prostitutes. Because who gets the freaking blowjob for not going to jail? Because their wives don't do it? Fucking give me that shit. Then they feel bad about it, so they go to the donut shop and eat their fucking feelings, so then we gotta freaking pay for a police force of overdone pigs. Literally, because they're gluttons, because they're used to getting everything given to them. They don't gotta pay for their fucking uniforms, or their cars, or their pensions, or their medical insurance. For what, a fucking goddamn high school degree? Anyway, people are broadening their spectrums, and people are coming into themselves. And I was talking about this a couple years ago, because I've followed Rick Levine for a few years now, and he's always got a lot of good information to say. Benno, you're not awake. Go back to sleep, bud. He's like, I am in between dimensions right now. Look at that face. So Marge, don't show Ben his face. He's sleeping, Marge. Hi. I'm Benno. I'm tired. It's hard being a cute guy. He drives me freaking crazy. He's my problem child. Yep. Talking about all the mischievous things that you... No, I'm not gonna. I gotta finish my talk. Don't distract me. Blind me with your cuteness. It's manipulation. Just kidding. It's on me. It's not you. It's me, baby. It's me. Okay, so... James Murdoch quit today. He quit. I'm not doing this family business anymore. All you do is tell lies, and you don't let me tell the stories I want to tell. So James Murdoch quit. Oh. Ben want to be a star, Marge. Ben, you're already a star. You don't need to be you don't need to be on the tubes, Benny. Go back to sleep. So I've been following Rick Levine for a few years, and I've been following a lot of astrologers for a few years because I got plenty of time. Because, you know, when we moved to Oregon, like I was talking about earlier, I became Mom's caregiver instead of I became her caregiver, more of her caregiver than her roommate. So the dynamics of our relationships yet again changed. We ain't never really been mother-daughter. So I ain't sad about it. It's just I just have to different responsibilities I take on. Not a big deal. It's just everything is evolving and everybody's life is evolving. This is how mine has evolved in the last 4 years. But our relationship has improved substantially. I have to say that. So people are getting their frequency on. They're getting their freak on. They're getting their freaks on right now. They're broadening their spectrums and their frequency is just like pow. People are opening, their channels are opening wide up. Oh my. It's true, Benny, it's true. They're opening their channels wide up and they're starting to receive data and they're going, what is this? So in ether realms and physical realms, it's like the whole world is not what people told us it was. And people are figuring out for themselves what the world is to them. Isn't that cool? What it is to you? And then people are we're gonna see all kinds of like manifestations of how people see themselves and the evolution of their spirit in this life, you know. People with their, you know, energetically androgynous. It's what I identify myself as. I'm a balanced human being. I'm a female balanced in my masculine and my feminine energy by doing daily disciplines to keep my chakras clear and balanced and not eating a lot of crap food and drinking a lot of booze. I like my can of cookies though, I ain't gonna lie about that. Those help a lot with my pains too. My alignment in my spine causes migraines. There's about 3 days out of the month I don't have them. Those are very good days. I'm very blessed for those. All the rest I just have to get through it and then act better than you feel, Marge. Act better than you feel. Or I was never really good at that. I just have these expressions on my faces, and then people go, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I was minding my own business, and now you're an asshole. Now we really got a problem." Anyway, so people are getting their freak on, and so it might be weird to you, depending on what weird is to you. See, my spectrum has always been wide. Always. I grew up in an energetically hard place. I grew up in a place called Redding, California, just north, actually. It wasn't even Redding, Project City, Central Valley, the projects. And as towns evolve and change as they do, well, my town that I grew up in isn't even called the same thing anymore. Now it's called the City of Shasta Lake because somebody said, let's do this. But everybody that's from there, it'll always be CVHS, Proud Falcon, class of 92. Anyway, so a lot of weird stuff happened there. You know, from the time I was 5, 6 years old, people talk about the Satan rituals and all that stuff. The cult, all that. I mean, it was always just a part of my reality, you know. And then so when I hear other people not talk about it or not, you know, think it's like not real, I'm just like, how do you figure, you know? So going on through my life and stuff, you know, and then like having experiences because I'm always just down to go. I've said I'll try anything once, but there are my limits. I won't eat people. And it's not an appetizer I'd ever try. And you don't do kids, and you know, I'm a survivor of that storyline too, and I will call out anyone that I recognize who is too much with kids, because I read vibes and I catch kid catchers. It's kind of what I do. It's kind of one of my superpowers. So I'm a Hulk empath. I read energy. So I'm the one that in the group where everybody's like, oh my God, they're the most wonderful person in the world. I'm like, no, they're not. And these are all the reasons why. At the same time, for the person in the room that they're like, oh my God, they're the most evil, decrepit, you know, disgusting, vile being on the earth. And I'm like, okay, but here's the good in them. Yeah, I'm a contrarian. It's what we do. So don't be too worried about what you see, because people are, your dads are going to come home in dresses, and your moms are going to come home with, want a girlfriend and all this shit, and they're going to, and they're probably going to want to split up and live different lives, and, the world is changing as we understand it. It's not your world, it's all of it. So don't attach your feelings too much on that's funny. On how other people are evolving in their life and their crystallization. That's funny. It's funny because my dad in Truth is Alchemy, my father and my brother were born in the same 19-room hospital in Atascadero, California. And last I heard, my father's still there. My grandma, my family has been in that community since, I believe, like the 40s, the 30s. So my grandfather was a friend of Bill W. and went to the first meetings of recovery in San Luis Obispo. And at one time, there were pictures and stuff like that. So that's just funny that they're in Colorado, and yeah, that doesn't really surprise me too much. So my father, my uncle and grandfather, they all climbed on top of Mora Rock back when you didn't get tickets for, that's a suicidal act. If you do that, you're just asking to kill yourself. Fucking pure brats. Drive me freaking crazy. Anyway, people are really, 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 really going to start coming into how they feel, because they're becoming more energetically balanced, and the people that have always been, that have been over masculine, are going to come into they're going to overcompensate for a while, and then they'll swing back into their calibration. So it's just, on Astro Hub, Rick and what's her name? I can't remember her name. They were talking about that, and it's just calibration to me about how things are getting weird. Well, it depends on what you think weird is. Weird to people are like it's what they see on a movie, but it's a Friday night to me when me and my roommate Mike drive over to San Francisco to see what kind of trouble we can get at, and going to a small quiet bar in the Castro, and then ending up at a warehouse rave with freaking dudes in angel wings doing choreograph from the rafters and ropes and the ceiling. And all the stuff that you see related to that, as long as it's consensual, as long as people are, everybody's above board, nobody's, eating people or doing kids, all that stuff. I don't care what's in your alphabet soup. Just don't pour that soup in my lap. To each his own, man. I'm a monogamous being. I know the karma related to having freaking all that chasing sensation stuff. It's karma, man. It's ties to people. Do you want ties to people? Look who you're tying to. I thought about that. I saw Adele put a freaking, a picture up. She looks great. She's enlightening. She's put a lot of work into freaking freeing up the wreckage of the past and becoming, the best version of herself. She's done the work and, got out of bad relationships and is just, just living for herself and her son, and, she's queen of the world. She's got to freaking be careful about who she's endorsing, because those freaking, that B family, man, they dabble in the dark, and do you want to align yourself with people in the dark? Jay-Z and freaking Beyonce. I haven't liked Beyonce since, I have a Destiny's Child song, and I think I have that song with the 6-inch heels. I think it's her in The Weeknd. But I haven't been in alignment with her forever. And all these people that are about to get really freaking blown out and busted for who they are and what they actually are. And, and maybe they aren't that now, but look at what they did, and where's the accountability for that? And a lot of them are still acting that way. They're just doing more discreetly, and a lot of them are freaking, really in their ego. And Kijin is great, and she's got on a great storyline right now with the freaking creepy Hanks, She's on to stuff. She's just thinking. She's just thinking and looking and putting stuff together, and that's all I do. I sit and watch. I look at the news pop in and out, and I look, Go Duck Go. It doesn't matter what browser. I look in all of them because all the algorithms are different, and access is denied. Access is denied. I was thinking about that earlier because I've worked in IT before I started hanging out with Mom more. I mean, I'm still in IT every day. I ask people for help. I mean, if people need help, I'm here to help every day. I just ask me your questions. You got questions, I'll help you get your stuff set up. You got connectivity issues. You got bugs and critters. If shipping wasn't such a pain, I'd just have you ship me your laptop. I'll clean it up, ship it back to you. And I don't want your data. I don't want your stuff. I don't want to know what people are doing. Unless you're doing dirty, and then you gotta freaking. I tell on dirty people, man. Yeah. Anyway, did I say all? Oh, I was thinking about access deny. Why am I so shocking? See, to me, that's a power play. I don't like that shit. You don't touch people in the head. And that's why you don't freaking point a laser at... I didn't know they were doing that so much. Marge Astrology said something about that. They're doing something when they're pointing a freaking laser at your third eye. Fuck you. I don't have a fever. I'm not hot. I haven't had a cold, and I've had one cold in 15 to 20 years, It's like you know why they do that? It's because they want you to be like them. Fearful people want you to be afraid because they're afraid. See, so you don't wear a mask, and they're like, well, why aren't they wearing a mask? They're not afraid. Well, they need to be afraid. Well, why aren't you wearing a mask? Because I don't like it. Why is it? Because people aren't supposed to breathe like this. And listening to people try to talk to each other and communicate, it's just laughable. I'm just like, just take the fucking mask off. Just take the mask off. Just take the mask off. It's all crap. People are all figuring it out. The numbers aren't adding up. Still, in August. It's the 1st of August. Still. Yes, unfortunate. But the good news is regular flu numbers, statistics, have gone down. I asked that in the video. I was like, well, I wonder if the actual flu numbers are going to go down this season since everybody's getting the ro-ro. Everyone's getting the Rona. It's still... the numbers don't add up. And it's just like, oh shoot, now they're starting to figure it out. And are people still protesting? I don't know what's going on with that. Are people still protesting? I know they are in Potland. The frickin' land of wasted hipsters and frickin' women that should not be wearing yoga pants, but just too many of them do. That place is a frickin'... if that isn't a portal of duh, a primordial soup of ooze. It's just a low vibrational pocket, Voodoo donuts? See, I've always been real particular about what I've done with things, and and I don't care about if the masses of asses are doing it. I just, if it ain't, I ain't never really been a fan of Ozzy Osbourne. I like that song Sweet Leaf that he did with Black Sabbath, but he bit the head off a bat, and that bat didn't fucking do anything to him, and it was just all for, And then everyone's like, oh, he's a Satan worshiper. No, that stuff isn't real. And then fast forward 2020, and everybody's finding out that it's all the national pervertedy. That's what national security is all about. CIA, it's all about. It's like luring and enticing people to act as human beings and then recording them and getting them to do all. That's why the country is in a shithole. Now, but you know what? The good news is they're going to go back to American made. American made is going to erupt. And they're, because now they're all pissed off at China, and China's pissed off at America, and they're all swinging their wieners, and they're all packing up their toys, and you can't play with my shit, and I can't play with your shit, and this is, it's all business, and nothing's personal, and it's all so fucking stupid. And then People are figuring out, oh my God, all of our taxes and all of our money, you know, we get taxed on all this so many times on the same shit over and over. We're just like blender, and all of it's so they can just create more clubs to like catch culprits, but they're actually the culprits that they're trying to keep the rest of the world from seeing that they are. And it's like we pay for it, and then it's on our dime. Did anyone else think that the plot twist of freaking pervy Uncle Sam would turn out like this? And then they prey on the heartstrings. Oh, first responders. Oh, my dad was, and his dad was, and what it means, and what it means. And hey, you know what? I used to have a lot more respect for those guys when they had calendars, and these dudes were big old freaking stud muffins bee caves, but that ain't the case anymore, and they all let themselves go. So, hey, if they let themselves go, what the fuck should I give a shit about them for? We still pay for all their shit. They just keep getting new, bigger, better equipment, better to serve us for our own safety. All the police just get, you know, they look like fucking stormtroopers now, man. It's just a joke. I live in Oregon. It's a fucking stoner state. You're lucky they're not smart enough to freaking start figuring out that, you know, with all their dogs that they walk all over, freaking take the rubber gloves, pick up some handfuls of freaking dog shit in your rubber gloves and turn those inside out, add a little water in there, that makes a nice water balloon. That will ruin somebody's fucking cop uniform. I mean, come on, think, people. Grass blowers. That's cute. I'm just saying, I don't go out. That's all bad karma. You mess with people, but hey, if they're gonna freaking shoot you, if they're gonna take all of your money to freaking get rubber, you know, you might as well freaking soil a uniform or two. It's just a water balloon with fucking dog shit in it. No big deal. I would love it if people started using those. Don't start using those. But it's just like, I mean, come on, where's the street? Where's the, you know, you don't gotta be mean about stuff. You don't gotta freaking hurt them. Just make them stink. There's plenty of stuff that doesn't smell good. That's tacky. Like molasses. Ew. I mean, come on. Let's get freaking Home Alone in this shit, man. Let's get Home Alone on up in this shit. Let's get creative. Freaking big old mouse traps and stuff like that. Mom really liked The Fifth Element. I'm just trying to be in a light, jovial mood, man, because it's going to be a heavy few days. Rick was talking about Mercury's light is in line with the sun. I don't know. I can't keep track. I'm not an astrologist. That's why I listen to them, to listen to what the energies are, and then I see what the energies are doing in the news and the media, and I see how they're playing out in people's lives, and it's like, okay, all right, you know, and I got actions I got to take in my own life, and then so I'm like, okay, this is a day go, this is a go day, and this is a stay day, you know. Okay, sometimes I got to go when I want to stay. Sometimes I should stay, but I got to go anyway. So I just say a little prayer, put on some protection, wear some rings. I don't know. People don't really usually give me a hard time. But when they come out me, it's just like, oh, frick. Really? I mean, I'm 46 years old, and I had a dude right out front with me because I just said, slow down! Because there are kids all over the place, you know, and he was in a U-Haul truck going about 45 in a 25. So I was just letting him know maybe he doesn't know. So I was just letting him know in a nice, friendly way. He locked up the brakes, got out, started running full board at me while I'm standing turtle. So I hope you're going to do something with that, because if you don't, it's going to be like running into a brick wall. Because people have always just, like in the grocery store, they'll run into me. They'll just run, just in the, you know, the people just always like to just come at me. So I'm okay, and then they do, and then it's like, and then I don't budge, and they're like, you're so mean. Like, you fucking ran into me, you dipshit. People like to watch those folks that like to make the people, you know, that say you're mean, or You need to act this way, or you make me feel this. Those are all power plays, and people are figuring out the power plays and how not to come into them, huh? Is that what they're doing? They are. They are. And how that might ain't right. You don't get to do that. You don't get to be a bully. I bully bullies. I got a t-shirt and Teespring that says that. I bully bullies. You know? I don't have nothing to lose. I don't got no friends. It's just me and Mom and the dogs. 4 dogs. I got a cat. Mom's got her little sassy girl. Little old girl. Anyway, did I talk about all my notes? The world is changing. The world is changing in a very, very, very fast way. Just go along for the ride, and don't hang on emotionally too much of the weird shit you see. And if you got any heroes, you might want to drop that title to people right now. Because I found a long time ago that you don't really have heroes, people that they're the best thing in the world, because they got skeletons in their closet too, and now is the time that people all their skeletons are coming out. That is why I always talk my dirt. I speak my shit on here. I tell my dirt out on here for everyone. So when people like to come back and tell me about me and my behavior and talk about my behavior, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Please, by all means, refer to this video where I specifically talk about my part in that. Because we need to live in a world of accountability. That's the only thing that's going to save it. So I think it's funny, people are like, oh, back to American made and stuff. It's like, dude, it's because of those rich fucking greedy bastards that they took the business over there anyway. We always should have been doing it here. We should have been making apple chips and everything here the whole time. But because they wanted to make so much, they got so greedy, they got so void of spirit, that they put, and now the karma. Dude, the karma from all that shit from the last 500 years is being brought out. It's all being brought out. In your family line. So if you're still those freaking dirty cops that are taking doing just impeding progress, and you're still the judges that are still doing all that shit, and there's still the doctors that are still a part of the freaking disgusting system, and you're just because your family always did it, you're still just part of the problem and just keeping any solution from happening. Well, you folks are the ones that are gonna have to face yourselves in this window, this Lion's Gateway portal, most significantly in the next 8 days. And then I think it ends on 8/8. And then the way I feel about it, my take is, on the 13th, when these alignments start hitting, people are not going to like what they see. Oh dear. Benzo. It's gonna get a gnarly, Benzo. It's gonna get gnarly. People don't realize how fragile, like, the human skeleton is. But see, the thing is people have so much energy, and everyone's getting so sensitive because we're all connected energetically. And so many people don't realize that the uptight, anxious feelings, the anxiety, the freakouts, the like homicidal thoughts, these thoughts that are just scare the shit, they're not yours. You're like a radio, and you're freaking turning it into other people's thoughts and ideas, and other people are having these, and you're picking up on it. That's why people think they're crazy. But that's the reality that everybody does. Most people, it happens less. You become less in tune when you drink city water, and when your pituitary gland's calcified, and when you eat shit, and when you drink. All that stuff hinders your alignment and attunement with the frequency of everyone around you. We are all empaths. Everyone is just different degrees based on what they allow. And how many people receive information and go, I don't care, I'm not going to do it anyway. I don't care if being with this bitch is, the worst thing in the world for me. She is my same flame. All that shit is people, we have free will. I asked this to Mom this morning, and I was like, Mom, do you think people are born evil? Because she'll ask me that sometimes, and sometimes the answer varies. And today for her answer for that was, I think people choose it. I'm like, you know what, Mom? I think that's going to be my new answer for that question. Is people always have a free will. They always have a choice of how they're going to live. Now, if you did nasty, dirty stuff in the olden days when you were young and stupid and doing too much drugs and all that stuff, you know. But if you're not acting sorry about it now, or even acknowledging that, you know, these things exist, people really need to start speaking up for themselves. I understand the whole storyline of I don't have to explain myself to people. I think it's bullshit. I think people, if there's proof that you've been doing things with kids and dirty things and gross things, cannibalistic things and stuff like that, that you need to justify yourself. Because those behaviors are not acceptable in a civilized world. And I think anyone in a balanced state of mind would agree with me. And if you don't, well, that's just weird. Huh, Benzo? I've been running on some... Yeah, we can shock people. Peace Dealer talks about it. Mike on the Peace Dealer is talking about people's superpowers. I freaking... I'm always like with my mind like fireballs, you know, like with my energy, like you're a dick, you know, kind of thing. Like, or someone that cuts me off, I hope you get a ticket, asshole, you know, like that, stuff like that, you know. And then Mom feels my hands, and she's like, oh my God, your hands are so hot to the touch. I'm good at Ricky, energy massages, stuff like that. I am badass at that shit. I'm a great energy healer, because I know where all the freaking hurts and pains are. And like, whatever, like if you cut hair, where it hurts when you cut hair and stuff, all that stuff, depending on what kind of shoes you wear, I know it all. I got stats. So I put off so much heat, and then she feels the underside, but it's cool to touch. But and my feet, the bottom of my feet, put off a lot of heat too. That's how everyone should be when you're healthy and you get your blood going. My dancing is my exercising, huh? Huh, Ben, are we done running our mouth yet? She was in the talking room. Said thanks for hanging out. Yeah, you don't hit people in the head. You don't freaking hold them down. You don't pull on their toes or make their... You don't do things to make them feel bad. I've had to wear one to the laundromat. I can wear it under my nose as long as I can wear it under my... And I wear it like... I wear mine like a freaking idiot. I wear it so it connects to this side of my ear. Or it connects to this ear, but then this side, so it's like all sideways because I connect it to my headphones. And one of my ears. I'm just a dick about it. Yeah, see, so that's a power play. Somebody just tries to, you don't, see it, but see, be lucky see, I'd go to family reunions when I was growing up. I remember we went, with my dad, had a cousin who had the same name as him. I've always felt like there was a competition there of some kind. And this guy was like a big wealthy banker, you know. And then, let's come on down to Glendale and have a family reunion. So we go down there, you know, and I get freaking thrown in the pool. You know, made the joke out of it. So I guess be grateful that you just got a freaking, you know, got hit upside. They're just total dicks, man. People are dicks. And then when you can't get mad about it because then you're a bad sport. You're a party pooper and all that stuff. But, you know, I was also a 15, 14-year-old girl who was developing. And they didn't realize that, you know, that I had a white top on. And, you know, I was around, you know, a lot of people I didn't know. And they don't take into account of that. See, they just see that you're just mad. You're just so mad. You're always mad about stuff. They don't even nobody ever stops to ask why. Why are you mad? And I ask people why. Why are you mad? Why are you hurt? What happened? What flipped your trip? What tripped your flip? What was it? Because I know because things hurt. If I choose to, things can hurt my feelings every second of every day. I can stay in that. Hello. What stones do I don't wear a lot of stones. I got some gold. I've tried. I had a black. I wear this guy. I wonder. I've looked it up before. I got him in Mexico. My standing turtle. I fucking hate the fucking fact that I hate certificates and shit like that. I think they're just as discreditable. I will never go to a school where somebody that doesn't have the abilities that I fucking have are going to tell me I can do something. No, I already know what I can do. And I'm not going to fucking give you my money. If anything, you might want to give me some money so I can teach you some new shit too. You know, it's that stuff. Fucking certificates. They're like college degrees. You can wipe your ass with them. What a lot of fucking good they do ya. I'm not using my bachelor's science degree in business information systems from Bellevue University in Omaha, Nebraska. You know, in college educations, freaking kids are they're living in parking lot, they're living in their cars in parking lots. For it's all that shit is falling down. It's all coming down because it's like, why are all these people paying themselves 6 figures to not help anybody? You know, organization after organization, CIA, they're all just money purged into these, but not everybody gets $2,000. No, nobody's worth that. They're not worth that. Yeah, I know a girl that I knew from when I was like 18, and she's up in Potland, and I think she's going for her acupuncture. You know, and then how many of these people have their fucking certificates, and I'm still like, I wouldn't let you fucking touch me, you Nimrod, because you're void, you're vacant, you got this part of the spectrum, but look at all the rest of the spectrum that you're missing out on, and you can't fake it. People can't fake that. People can't fake being well-rounded, decent human beings. It's not something that can be faked. It's something that's felt, but you can't fake it. People are quickly coming into that realization. So, anyway, if you come up into access denied in life lately, and it's just like, you know, just let it go. Don't let things trip you up too much and disappoint you too much. And if you find out about somebody that you really like musically and musicians and stuff like that, what they're doing now, but they probably weren't doing that. You know, just appreciate the stuff for what it was, and appreciate the person and the encounter for who they are, for the good that they brought, you know. Don't focus so much on the negative and the darkness and the shadow. People, if they start focusing more on the light stuff, then we can move this planet into this heaven on earth that we are intended to do. But if people keep focusing on the negate, then we're going to keep perpetuating and creating that. So remember, just take some time during the day and imagine. I don't care if you're painting a picture. Imagine the earth, how you want to see it in its ultimate utopian society as you understand it. And then you bring that to the world, cultivate it, work towards that every day a little bit. I'll do my part. I'll keep connecting with other people doing that part. And then before you know it, we'll change this earth. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad evening. Peace.